today.
Welcome to Mighty House. This is a radio show for people with problems, home improvement problems, that is, and for people who want common sense guidance on how to build green and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Send an email or call into the show. The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is Mighty House.
All right, hey, we're back again, and tonight we're going to talk about references and what you, as the homeowner, should be calling references for these particular contractors. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And before we get started, you want to go to right there, Rich, right underneath.
Yes.
Sorry, Rich. Right
you want
there.
to go to the Niles?
Yep, there you go.
Niles Design District.
Perfect. Weatherman Rich, good job.
Well, I just got to remember. And that's our logo.
There's our logo. NilesDesignDistrict.com. So make sure you click on that subscribe button, like right down around in here somewhere, and then click on the bell so you'll be notified next time we post something. And with that, we'll get started here. So first of all, should a homeowner ask a contractor for references?
Absolutely. And the references, I've actually had clients tell me that the contractor told them they would give them references after they signed the contract.
That's a little backwards, isn't it?
Yes, that's a big red flag right there, sir.
Yeah.
If somebody says that, run away.
Uh-huh.
Seriously. But it's also very important to call references, and we're going to give you some questions that you should ask. But don't just ask if they have references. Call the references.
Right. That's exactly it.
Because it amazed me how many clients would not.
Yeah.
They just, you just seem like you could trust you.
Right.
Yeah, that's how con men work. They're going to seem like you can trust them until they get the deposit, and then they're gone.
Right.
So call the references.
Right. And when you look at that reference list, make sure that it says, you have the person's name and you know what town they're in. You don't need to have their address, but what town they're in, so that way you know that the areas that they work in, they're used to working with those building departments and that kind of stuff. Right. And then also, what kind of job did they have done? If they had a bunch of bathrooms done and everything on their reference list is bathrooms, and you're hiring them to do a roof.
And you're looking to get your basement remodeled?
Yeah. And then, you know what? He may not, that contractor may not have the skills to take on your job. So find out what the jobs are, and if he completed it on time and all that stuff. But on the reference list should be listing the name, town at least,
town or
and
municipality,
the project. Right.
And the type of project.
Right.
And then there's just some simple questions you want to ask. You want to ask, is the contractor related to you?
Yeah, because my mom gives me a great reference every time.
I mean, people laugh. When Ron and I used to do this class for NARI, they would laugh when we tell them that. It's like, yeah, I need a reference, Mom. You want to be my reference? Sure, but nobody asks that you're related, so
sure,
you get away with it. Big one is, did the contractor crew or the subcontractors treat your property with respect?
Yes.
And that's a big one, right? I mean, it's your house. You're going to be gone all day. So you want to make sure that when you come home, everything's clean. Or is your front yard full of stuff? You can't even get in your own driveway, anything like that. So
did they put tarps down, or did they put booties on? Do they have air scrubbers to run, put up plastic to plastic off the work areas? So there's a lot of things to take a look at. Absolutely.
Was the job completed in a timely manner? So we go back to a few episodes and we talked about setting expectations. And one of the things we do to interview clients is the same thing. What is your time frame? If you want it done by January 1st, and my calendar's full, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. So, but some people just don't want to turn down work. They're going to try and get that deposit out of you. Right. And then they'll make excuses, lumber shortages, price, whatever.
The windows
just goes
didn't come
on
in
and on. And your job's not even going to get started, let alone end in a timely manner. So it's really important to ask those questions. Were you comfortable living comfortable having the crew in your house while you were gone? Or you might have been there. I mean, it depends if you're stay at home or work at home, but some people aren't comfortable having people in their house. It's just, unnerving.
Or did the people coming in to do the work give you the willies and you just like, what? I'm not comfortable with you.
Right.
So you get the right vibe off with the people that are actually doing the work in your home.
Yep, exactly. Bigger ones too that you want to get into are financial. If you had any changes on your project, were they handled willingly?
Yes.
It's not like you bought a production home where you get 5 choices and I am sorry, you are not allowed to make up number 6. This is what you select from, and that is that. That's production.
Right. Yeah. You want white, you get white. That's it. That's the paint color.
So especially in remodeling, new construction, you can kind of work through more of that easily, but in remodeling, there's always opportunity for changes. Most people cannot see drawings in 2D.
Right.
So, once they see them in 2D, they can't visualize what it's really going to look like. So typically, after a project is framed, all the walls are up and the window openings are there, and they can walk through it for the first time. They go, yeah, I don't like that door there. It's like, well, it's been on the paper for 6 months, but until they stand there, they don't get it. And that's good. So do you want to move the door? Fine. We write up a change order on an agreed amount, and you sign the change order, and everybody's happy. Right. Was that done willingly? Right.
Well, and some contractors are reluctant to do any change orders. They follow what the original contract is, and they don't veer off of that at all. And then the other side of that is someone that, like you said, is very willing to do it. And did they write a change order? Or did they just do the work? Right. You want to make sure that those change orders were written.
Yeah, and our next segment's going to be on contracts, and we'll cover change orders a little bit more in the contracts. But change orders are extremely important to get in writing, whether it's a credit,
right,
a charge, or no cost. Right. You still want it in writing because you don't need surprises. Here's your invoice at the end of the job for all these things. And you're like, well, you never said there'd be an additional cost.
Right.
And I just thought you were doing it because you were here.
Yeah, I just had you change the kitchen faucet. I didn't think you were going to charge me for it.
Right. Trust me, that happens way more than you think. So if you've got a complaint with work, or if there's something going on, was that handled respectfully?
Right.
You've got a bunch of strange people in your house. Maybe one of the guys does give you the willies and you ask him to come up. I really don't want that guy in the job anymore, just freaking me out.
Uh-huh.
Was somebody listening to you, and did they ask him to stop coming to the job?
Right.
Or did they say that's the only electrician in the world?
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only Sparky we can find.
Right. So that's always a big one.
Rates.
Yeah, did they come over to finish your basement but destroy your bathroom?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did they drop a muskie?
Well, and that's the thing. We've always put porta-johns on all of our jobs, even remodels. We don't use your bathrooms. We don't use your kitchen. We try to set up, when we do kitchen remodels on large additions, we'll take out the old cabinets, set them up in the basement, and build a kitchenette.
Correct.
So that at least you have some place to make coffee and so on in the morning or whatever, because you're obviously going to be out of your kitchen for a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of things that you can do that you want to ask about, and that's additional cost typically, or it might be in our contracts, which is why we aren't the cheapest.
Yep.
Exactly. But if you want your life to be comfortable, it may cost you a little bit more. So you got to hire a real contractor.
Exactly.
So last parts I'll go over real quick because we'll catch these in the next segment on contracts. But was the contract specific and complete? Were all the terms of the contract met fully? And finally, was the price that you were quoted what you were charged?
Mm-hmm.
So those are big questions. Now, obviously, if we had change orders through the job, then obviously you're going to get charged more than the quoted price. Right. But the point of the question is, were you satisfied with the billing from the starting price, your change orders, credits, and all that, and where you ended up? Was it legit? Right.
You just want to be aware of those changes and the price changes as it goes along. And if that was all a surprise at the end, you want to know that, especially if you have a budget of whatever it is, and then as you're doing these change orders in your head, you're keeping track of that, financially. So that you know exactly where you're going to be. That should be the final number when you write that last 10%.
Well, and things now are so much easier because my change orders, I used to handwrite change orders. We used to have to put more or less an Excel spreadsheet together, showing a running tally.
Right.
But your change order says original contract amount, change order 1, 2, 3, whatever, and new contract amount. So we always hand that tally to the client for signature.
Right.
It should never be a surprise.
Correct. So. Absolutely correct. Okay, next.
Okay. So those are the questions you should ask. So again, check on references. Guy's going to hand you a sheet of paper. Call, the peoples.
Yep. Good. And the last one, the last question on there.
Yes, sir?
Would you hire them again?
Yes.
Page 2.
Yes, must flip page.
So.
Oh, that's funny, actually. We used to do this. We used to do this at libraries and stuff. So we've been doing this whole thing a long time. And yes, I did miss that. But yes, would you hire them again? That's truly a very, very important question.
Right.
Which
you want to know.
A lot of our work was always repetitive.
Yeah. So the job went great. Everything was good. You had a little bit of willies for them. You didn't get good vibes off of them. You know, they could have done the work okay. You just didn't get along with them. So I mean that's. You know, okay, yeah, they did it okay, but no, we're not going to hire them again. You know,
as a contractor, do you put your best references on there, or do you maybe put one that you guys might have had a disagreement with, but you still finish the job?
Us personally. So when we get done, we send out a survey at the end and ask all these kinds of questions. If they want to go on the reference list, they go on.
Okay.
Right.
We don't select them. You know. So, but our reference list now after 30 years is pages and pages and pages, you know. So, who knows what they're going to get? I don't know.
I've actually had new clients from past potential clients.
Yes.
Because they didn't hire me.
Yes.
And things went south.
Uh-huh.
And then they go, God, I wish I'd have hired you. This went so bad.
Right.
So then, you know, they're like, somebody else is like, oh, I want to do an addition. I call him. Don't even think about it. Just call him. Go get it done.
Yep.
You know, so.
Yep, we get those all the time too. So, you know, sometimes your best reference as a contractor is that job that, you know, that client
you
didn't
get
hire.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, well, hopefully you found something informational in this. And with this whole series, I think we're up to going to have like 7 or 8 now. We thought originally six segments, but it's growing here. So, just follow along over the next couple of weeks, and we'll have this all set up for you in due time. So hit that subscribe button down there, click on the bell.
And the bell.
And the bell.
Bell.
And then from that point on, I think we're going to just say, keep it square and level.
Till next week.
Until next time.
Dang it.
There you go. Oh, that's what we do after every little episode. Yeah, that's right. Located on Milwaukee Avenue, the Niles Design District is a home improvement destination for consumers, designers, and contractors. For those looking to renovate a kitchen or a bathroom, expand with a new addition, or enhance their curb appeal, the Niles Design District in Niles, Illinois offers everything in one convenient location.
It's your road to a better home.